Hello dear students and welcome to our first class of Sem Free General on Christina Rossetti. Christina Rossetti was one of the poets of the pre-Raphaelite school. Okay, the pre-Raphaelites were a Victorian group of poets who functioned during the 1840s and 50s, and they focused on a kind of literature and art which took place before the painter Raphael and Michelangelo. Okay, the pre-Raphaelites wanted the bold colors, the sensual approach, and the spiritual nature of art which took place before the advent of Raphael and Michelangelo. Okay, D.G. Rossetti, Christina's brother, was one of the major speakers of this school. All right. Now, if we go through the poem, we'll see that uh, this poem is very interesting and it is very important for us to understand. If you look at this title, Uphill, now we always think of uphill in terms of a metaphor, that is, uphill battle, which suggests a kind of struggle. Now, all of us undergo struggles in life, and Krishna Rossetti was no exception to this rule, and therefore it represents the struggles in life, and it represents the struggles in a conversational tone. Okay, that is, there are two speakers in this poem. One of them asks questions, the other answers the questions. Now, this is a very popular ploy in both school level and in religious teachings, and this is called catechisms, that is where you gain knowledge via question and answer. Now the poem has 16 lines. There are altogether 16 lines which are divided in 4 stanzas, so 4 lines each for each stanza. Let us first look at the rhyme scheme of the poem, and then we will go into further detail. So, rhyme scheme is how the words rhyme. So, look, way rhymes with day, end rhymes with friend. So, if I denote it by A, then this will also be A. If I denote it by B, this will also be B. Same here, look, place. If I say C, then face C. If begin is represented by D, then in is also represented by D. So the same pattern is repeating. So if I draw a rhyme scheme, basic rhyme scheme, then I'll get AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, and GH, GH. So we can see that there is an instance of alternate rhyming in this poem. Okay. Now, basically, this alternate rhyming and this alternate questioning and answering is a very interesting way to talk about the poem. Let's see, what does the poem say. Does the road wind uphill all the way? Yes, to the very end. Will the day's journey take the whole long day? From morn to night, my friend. If you have ever been to a hill, you'll know that the roads around it wind, they meander around the hill. And this hill, this journey, is also a metaphor for the journey of life. The journey of life, filled with its struggles, is always an uphill journey. So, does the road wind up hill all the way? So, does the road of life keep on meandering all the way? And so, speaker one asks that does the journey of life always go in this roundabout way? And speaker B, who is the answerer, says that yes, to the very end. So, until we meet our end, this journey will always continue in this fashion only. That is, we are destined to face hardships through all the journey of our life, throughout the journey of our life. Will the day's journey take the whole long day from morn to night, my friend? So, will the day's journey take the whole long day? Now, look, a day has often been compared with human life. How? Like the morning represents young age or youth, as the day goes towards the afternoon, we reach our adulthood. From there, it goes on to the evening when we reach kind of our matured age or our age of maturation. And from there, it goes on to night. That is when we grow old and we die. So, will the day's journey take the whole long day? So, will the life's journey take the whole of these experiences? Long day. And look, this long. Often we say life is long. So, the length of life, will we always struggle throughout the length of life? From morn to night, my friend. From morning to night, my friend. And look, the second speaker calls the first speaker his or her friend. On the other hand, a day consists of 24 hours, right? Whereas the whole long day is the experience gathered from a life. It refers to the experience. So basically what happens is, say you might have spent, say, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or maybe 70 years of your life. But you are the experiences taken together of all these years. So you are the experience of the time that you have spent on the face of this planet. And therefore, it becomes so very important to understand that what is the difference between the expression day and long day. So basically, in the first stanza, we see that the two speakers are speaking. The first one is asking several questions which baffle us, several questions which we come across throughout our life, several confusions. And the second person, maybe the first person is a younger person who is facing a lot of trouble. And the second person who is answering is very wise, is full of wisdom, or she is full of wisdom. And this person is giving very apt, brief, pithy answers. So the answers are apt, brief, and pithy. That is, it is very to the point. It almost reminds you of the Bhagavad Gita, where a baffled Arjuna is asking several questions to the wise Krishna. And when he is faced by his family members, and he says that, how can I kill them? How can I kill them? And Krishna says that your duty is towards your family. I understand. You are baffled, therefore. But always remember that you are not here to battle your family, but you are here to protect your dharma. That is, you are here to protect your duty. You are here to do your duty, and duty comes first. So just like Krishna answering very difficult questions in very simple manner, here we have the second speaker, who is the wise person, answering the first speaker in very interesting, cryptic, apt, brief ways. Now let's come to the second stanza. We see that the questions and the answers continue here as well. So look, but is there for the night a resting place? So when you have done your duty, when you have fought your battles, you need to rest. You see, when we fight our battles, we feel tired. And when tired, we need to rest. So he asks that, will there be a resting place for the night? And the other says, a roof for when the slow dark hours begin. So yes, there will be a roof. That is, there will be a safe haven. It's not Heaven, it is Haven. A safe place. Yes, there will be a safe place for you to take rest. Because you see, it often happens that whenever we are faced with hardships, we think of quitting. But it's better to take rest when we are tired than quit. So here, from this second stanza onwards, we get an idea of the atmosphere of the poem. That is, we realize for the first time that the poem actually talks about life and not a simple journey. The journey is simply a metaphor for life. But is there for the night a resting place? And the speaker ensures, the answerer ensures that a roof for when the slow dark hours begin. And look, slow dark hours begin. So there are three monosyllabic words. Slow dark hours. It almost shows you the somber nature of the end of life. It shows you the somber nature of the gloomy end of life. We all know that I have miles to go before I sleep. But when I get tired, what do I do then? When the slow dark hours begin, what do I do then? I need a roof. And the answerer ensures that yes, undoubtedly, before it is too dark, before the slow dark hours begin, you will find your roof. And then the speaker has another doubt. Then the questioner has another doubt. May not the darkness hide it from my face? So will I not be overwhelmed by the darkness outside? And will I not miss it? May not the darkness hide it from my face? So will I not miss it? Being overwhelmed by the darkness around. And the other speaker is again in a very calm tone saying, you cannot miss that inn. Inn is like a sarai khana. It's a resting place. It's like a lodge. So you cannot miss that inn. So here we see that Rossetti portrays one single journey through very opposite, diametrically opposite points of view. Maybe the second speaker is the one who has already made the journey, and the first speaker is the first time, is going through the journey for the first time, and therefore he has 1,000 questions, or she has 1,000 questions. But the second speaker, since he or she knows that yes, there is this and that, so the second speaker assures him that don't worry, you will not miss all of that. And then the first speaker once again is baffled. In the first stanza, he was questioning about the path. So in the first stanza, there were questions regarding the path. In the second place, there was a question regarding a resting place. the availability of a resting place. In the third stanza, we have queries regarding the resting place. So the nature of the resting place. And look, he asks, or she asks, shall I meet other wayfarers at night? So here, by questioning about other wayfarers, the speaker kind of questions his status as a lonely traveler. You know, when we go through the hardships of life, we think that my life is the most difficult one. But actually, if you look around, you'll see that everyone is going through several hardships. The richest man of the world and the poorest man of the world have their own separate hardships. And you cannot quite dismiss the one's hardship as not a hardship and the other's hardship as actual hardship. So he questions his status as a lonely traveler. Shall I meet other travelers at night? So are there others who are traveling? Or am I the only one who is facing all these troubles? And the uh, answerer says, those who have gone before. So yes, there are people who have gone before you. So there have been travelers before you. There will be travelers who are with you, and there will be travelers even after you. So travelers before you, with you, after you. So basically, what this speaker seems to suggest is that this journey of life is like an incessant journey. Everybody in their own capacity is making this journey. Then must I knock or call when just in sight? They will not keep you standing at the door. And then he asks a very simple question. That just like when you go to visit a place and you book a hotel, you need to book a hotel, right? You need to book a room or maybe 2 rooms or 3 rooms, judging by the number of people that are accompanying you. So he says that I'll need to book a room. So I must knock, that is, I must let them know that I am there, or call when just in sight. So when I see the hotel or when I see the inn, then I must inform them in some way that I am there. And then again, the traveler says, they will not keep you standing at the door. So whenever you reach that door of that inn, nobody will be stopping you from entering. So you will not be kept waiting. Standing over here means kept waiting. So you will not be kept waiting at that door. So basically what happens here is that if you look at the two speakers, the first speaker has a lot of anxiety. And this first speaker's anxiety is being countered by the second speaker's wisdom. And therein lies the brilliance of this poem. It can be a conversation between youth and age. It can be a conversation between life and death. It can be a conversation between man and God. Because as I said that the Pre-Raphaelites were concerned with the depth of meaning and with a spiritual aspect. So it can mean all these three things. And if you read into it the Gita, you are not actually wrong. And look in the final stanza, the first speaker asks the last questions about comfort, about solace, about peace. Think about it. You have been through a really hard day. You have been through a really difficult day. You come back home, you go to your bed, maybe you take a shower first, have some dinner, you go to your bed. Isn't that the most comfortable thing at the end of the day? At least I look forward to that experience every single day. So what happens over here is that this speaker also is looking forward to that experience, and therefore he is asking the question, shall I find comfort, travel sore and weak? So I'll be tired after travel, I'll be weak after travel. So shall I find comfort? Now comfort can mean two things over here, solace or peace. That is a kind of peace for the soul and peace of mind and peace of body as well. Of labor you shall find the sum. And look here, the speaker speaks in a very biblical tone. Because in Bible it is suggested that the labor that you put in this world, the good labor that you put in this world will be rewarded after your death. So the labor that you have put over here in this journey, you will find equal amount of solace, of comfort, of peace. It's almost like a karmic concept. Whatever you sow, so shall you reap, as the saying goes. And that is also kind of what we call karma. So whatever, however you treat people, however you deal with life, that reflects in your own life as well. Will there be beds for me and all who seek? Finally, he asks the final questions. That is, will there be bed? So will there be place enough, space enough? In the Christian world, people bury people after they die. So will there be beds? So bed is a space of rest in general. And in the Christian tradition, when people die, they are buried. So will there be beds for me and all who seek? So when everybody comes seeking, because you have already told me that there have been people before me, with me, and after me. And since every inn or hotel has a certain capacity, so he now asks that will there be enough space for everyone? And the speaker says, yeah, bed for all who come. So if it is a question answer game between man and God, and God says, yes, there is enough space. If there is a discussion between life and death, then death says, yes, I embrace all life. If it is a discussion between youth and age, then youth questions if there is any value in life, and age says, yes, life is worth living. Now, the idea of an inn along the way in which the comfort is directly proportional to the work that you put in, as well as other people climbing the same hill, is basically also a metaphor for friends and family. Basically, all the problems that we face in life and all the issues that we face in life, we become how we face those issues with attitude. So if you run away from problems, you will always become an escapist. But if you face problems with honesty, at the end of the day, you will be considered as an honest man. So basically, this poem can be read in multiple ways, and all of them are equally correct. And you know, the beauty of such poems is that there is no one correct reading. All the readings are correct. And therefore, therein lies the beauty of the poem. If any day you can determine that no, this is the one right meaning, therein the poem loses its value. So, therefore, I always say that a poem can be read in multiple ways, and therefore, a poem is very interesting. And Uphill kind of talks about our struggles. Say, whenever we fail to face the struggles of our life, and if we go to our parents and ask them about their struggles, then we realize that yes, we are not the first ones who struggled. Sometimes they tell the struggles of their own life, and through that, you understand that your grandparents also struggled. So, wherever there is life, there is struggle. And therefore, it can be a conversation between two friends, one wise and one anxious. It can be a conversation between a young person and an aged person, one who has a lot of questions and one who has a lot of experience. It can be a conversation between man and God. It can be a conversation between life and death. And therefore, with this, I hope you have found some answers regarding how to read the poem Uphill. And if there are any questions, I'd like to address them. Thank you so much. Have a great day.